金をに、金をに、金をに、body hammer, body hammer.
Dude, I like you and everything. I pay you and everything. We chase ghosts and we slice some heads off together and everything. But you're racist as fuck, man.
Dude, it's 2025 and Trump won. Give me a break.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to 31 Days of Horror. I'm Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. Tetsuo 2 is a Japanese body horror science fiction film that was released in 1992, and this is directed by Shinya Tsukamoto, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Let me start off with a funny and unfortunate story before I start reviewing this film. I found this randomly, and I've always wanted to watch this series. I haven't seen any of them. And I found this, and I was like, oh shit. But these DVDs especially are really hard to find. And I'm like, you know what? I'm an OCD guy. I like watching films in order, so I wanted to watch the first before the second, obviously. But I'm like, it's a good price. It's probably the most decent price I'll find, so I'll pick this up. I didn't realize that Arrow Video has a box set of all of them. So I'm an idiot, and I bought this for 31 days, and I'm just like, shit, but whatever. I just decided to keep it and watch it out of order, because I did look it up, and I heard that this is quite disconnected from the first film plot-wise, other than themes. The theme is the same, but the story is very separate, apparently. But I do now intend to buy the box set, and if I had found out sooner, I totally would have. But anyway, Tetsuo 2 is, it's basically the Iron Man, that's what it means, and that's what the story is about. It's this guy who gets turned into half machine, half man. So think like Universal Soldier kind of thing. This takes a lot of inspiration from like Terminator. You get some Alien vibes. There is one scene specifically that is totally inspired by Alien when it comes to a chest burst. Woof. This film is a trip. Quite hard to follow. We start off with this family. You have this guy, he's married to this woman named Kana. I think his name is Taniguchi, if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on that. His wife is named Kana, and then they have a son. And at the beginning of the film, the son is kidnapped by these thugs, and they start chasing him down, and they chase him to this roof, and the guys are threatening to throw the kid down, like, off the ledge or whatnot. There is one brutal scene. Like, they do not shy away. This director does not shy away from child death, because there is one scene where one of the thugs is holding the child's arms, just the arms. You see the little hands, like they're tiny little hands, and it's just the hands, and that's it. And the rest of the child is gone. So it's like, oh my gosh, that is some brutal imagery involving children. Anyway. So the father goes insane, and then he turns into this half machine thing, and the effects on the body horror are crazy, because they really make these people look not robotic, but actual, like parts of them are like iron. Like they're so malformed and stuff. It's like they have like a pipe randomly coming out of some random part of their body, and like half their face is like square, and then the rest of the face is like a normal face, and it'll have like one eye, and then just a block, like literally a block on the side of his head, and stuff like that. One guy has this giant gun for an arm, and one guy has a bunch of guns coming out of his chest. So you have this father kind of going on a revenge mission and trying to bring these goons down kind of thing, and it turns into this Iron Man battle kind of thing, but it jumps around so much, and you have the woman Kana too in different points of herself. Like you'll have her before the tragedy, you'll have her during the tragedy, and you have all these guys too who are partial machine. They also need injections all the time, and I was a little bit lost on what the injections do, whether they turn the people back to like normal human or make them function better, because I as far as I was understanding, you can turn too much into a machine to the point where you can't move. Not a machine, I shouldn't say a machine. You can become too much iron to the point where like you're too heavy and bulky and you can't like do anything with the rest of your body. At least that's what I got from it. There is like a virtual reality aspect to it that I was really confused on. I didn't know exactly how that worked, whether it would give our main character flashbacks to before his son was kidnapped or killed. And then you have this whole post-apocalyptic world, which looks great. And you have all these, like I said, Iron Men all over the place, and it looks very Terminator. It's very dark. The skies are very smoky, very, very, very post-apocalyptic, and the imagery and the world building is gorgeous. This is a gorgeous film. 3.5 out of 5 again. It's funny because no film has crossed 3.5 yet. Probably because all of them are first time watches, and a lot of them are so unique that I don't even know what to do with them. But this is by far the most confusing that I've watched so far. So bear with me in trying to explain. There's a lot of cyberpunk moments. This is considered a cyberpunk film. There's like scenes of like CGI where like there's iron wires going all over the place and like coming out of people and getting like tangling up with each other and creating figures and stuff, and then you'll have like these naked people doing spins, and it's just visually a trip. It's visually like an acid trip mixed in with like a bunch of body horror and a bunch of like metal people fighting each other with like futuristic guns and shit. It's just like a fever dream of cyberpunk glory. Like it's so unique, and it just has to be watched to be believed. And it's more sci-fi than horror, I would say. And this is like a manga company, and this might be based on a manga. I don't watch a lot of manga, and I'm really ignorant to and new to this series, so I apologize if there's any huge Tetsuo fans that know way more about this series than I do. But I really did have a good time with it, and I'm still curious to watch everything by the director. I love Japanese cinema. I just think Japanese cinema is so unique and so crazy. They go out there and they don't hold back with horror and with anything. Like I said, I'm not too big on the manga and the anime, but Japanese cinema period, and especially when it comes to Japanese horror and shit like this, I love it. I really, really wish I got my hands on that box set from Arrow. I can't believe I never came across it. Like I've always known about these films, and I had never came across the Arrow box set of Shinya Tsukamoto. Yeah, I can't believe I did not buy that box set yet, but I intend to. I can't wait to watch the first film because this one is bonkers. The picture quality is okay. That's another thing about this DVD. The picture quality was not the best, and the sound quality was definitely not the best. It was hard to hear a lot of things. Mind you, I'm reading the whole time, but still, it's nice to hear what the people are saying, like their voices. But this is one of the most unique films I've ever seen in my life, and I was expecting it to be, but you know, it's still kind of surprised me. Even though I knew it was going to be bonkers, it still surprised me. It exceeded what I was expecting, so I love that shit. Great performances and just wild, wild, wild characters and wild body horror. Stuff for the ages, man. Tetsuo 2 Body Hammer is just such a good time, and man, you can watch this thing on mute and just stare at it, and it's so good. I don't have a lot more to say about it because, like I said, it's such a trip, and it was all over the place. But visually, it's a treat, and it is one hell of a trip. So, yeah, I can't wait to dive into that series a lot more, and experience it a lot more. So that's day 7 of 31 Days of Horror. Thank you for joining me, guys. Thank you for being here. Comment down below. Make fun of me all you want for not knowing more about the director or the series or the manga or whatever it's based on, if it is. The property. That's the word I was looking for. The property. I'm not familiar on the property, but I am interested. That is for damn sure. So until next review, spooky season is here and continuing, and it is not going away for a while. We are counting down to Halloween, and we have a lot more horror films to get through. So all first-time watches as always, and I cannot wait to dive into some more and talk about them with you guys. And until next review, sleep tight tonight.